Hey guys, this is Jake Stefanich from SparkBMXtraining.com. Today I wanted to show you an exercise that I really like. It is the row. We're going to use a suspension trainer for this one. You can do these in a bunch of different ways. You can use, I'm using just some rings or whatever. These are great because you can buy these for fairly cheap and you can put these in your house. You can hang them from like anywhere you have something, you can loop this around. You can do it on a tree. You can do these in the gym. It doesn't really matter. A lot of the techniques that I'm going to show you will be universal, so if you have rings or like a TRX, or you could even set up a barbell in a squat rack and do them there too. All the techniques are going to be pretty much the same. So great exercise, and it's awesome because it's very scalable for whoever you're working with. You could take someone that's like 75 years old and never worked out before, and you could have them standing pretty vertical and doing their rows like that. Get some arms moving and shoulders moving. And you can take someone that's really strong and have them go all the way down so they're really flat, and makes that really hard. So whoever you're working with, these are great, great to use. So a couple of things that we work on is shoulder mechanics, and this can be a real struggle. I struggled with this for a long time with my people. So what your row, you want to take your shoulder, and as you come back, your shoulder blade is moving back and kind of down. So what happens, a lot of times people their shoulder stays right where it is and their elbow just comes back and they end up pushing forward here. And you want to see that shoulder kind of come back. And you want to see kind of a big chest, but now this is the tricky part because people pull back into this position, but then they arch their back and they open up their rib cage to try to get like almost a fake sense of this position. So we want to try to keep this rib cage down and let the shoulder blades ride on the back of your rib cage. So you want to be able to keep that rib cage stable with a little bit of anterior core work. I found, this is a little trick that I found that I'm going to share with you guys. When we do this, I used to do them like this, straight leg and just dig my heels in. I found that I really like flat feet with just a little bit of knee bend, and then I kind of posteriorly tilt my pelvis, and that just means kind of like, I always say, go from like, this would be J-Lo, this would be anterior tilt, to more of a posterior tilt, and I call this like Michael Jackson. So you're gonna kind of go Michael Jackson a little bit, and what that's gonna do, if you feel your heels and kind of go Michael Jackson, that little bit of knee bend, it's gonna kick on some hamstrings. Those hamstrings run up here and help create a stable base, a stable anchor for your obliques to work on. So we're going to go like that. We're going to kind of get that posterior tilt, a little bit of glutes, a little bit of hamstrings. I'm going to exhale in this position. Let my arm just kind of hang. Now with that posterior tilt and that little bit of hamstrings, I take my breath in. And from there, like, I'm trying to keep my ribs down because I exhaled out. I'm in this exhaled position. I'm taking a breath in. I'm going to feel some air get into my back. What this is going to do, that's going to give me just a little bit of dome in my back, and it's going to let my shoulder blades kind of ride on that back of the domed area back here, and it's just going to make for a nicer row, I found. So let my arms kind of hang long and take my breath in, and it's a really easy position with those hamstrings on. I get some air back here, and then from here I'm pulling, I'm rowing up. I'm thinking about shoulders going, like I always say, down away from your cheeks or away from your chin, and for a lot of people that's a really easy thing to get. So rather than here, because that would be shoulder close to my cheek, I'm thinking about getting that shoulder down away from my cheek, and I'm keeping those ribs down. So you want to see that rather than this, and then you don't want to see that as well. That would be a bad one because we're arching our back. So you're getting yourself all set up. Take your time getting your set up position. So back of our legs, we're feeling the hamstrings. We're reaching, we're exhaling. That's going to get those ribs down, taking the breath into our back. And then we'll roll up. One last thing to work on is head position. Another thing people want to do is like shoot their chin forward to feel like they're getting closer to the bar. I just try to keep chin back. I look up at a point up above. I'll cue like a little place on the ceiling to kind of look up. That way it kind of keeps their neck out of the whole thing. So these are great for upper back, shoulder work, which is very important in BMX. So give these a try. I hope you like these little cues. Let me know what you think, if it helped improve your shoulder mechanics in your row.